Let us look at this emerging issue in Nigeria. Because instead of trying to fix the country, instead of trying to make the country work, the political gladiators are strategizing on who should occupy Aso Rock on 2027. And the way it is actually the Fulanis who are spearheading this move. Because for what we can understand, the likes of El-Rufai is a major proponent of this agenda. Talking about the former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, is another major person. Juan Kwanso is still in that league. But the way it is, the government of the day, I mean the government of Senator Bola Tinubu, have not actually delivered on the mandate he's parade. Even though the mandate is questionable, he have not been able to satisfy Nigerians. But the way it is, the Fulanis are already tired, already fed up of his administration, and they want him out of that place. But that will not happen until 2027, when there will be another round of election, talking about 2027 presidential general election. Personally, I supported to be in that last election of 2023. I didn't support a Tinubu, and I have not changed my ideology and my position. But the way it stands today, I think what the people should be looking at, what the gladiators should be looking at is, if the country is not working, is it not better you look the other way around? Is it not better you find a way to perhaps allow people to go their separate ways? Because the way it is, after up to 20 years of this national democracy seems not to be working, because the people are not getting the dividends of democracy. The Nigerians across board in every sector of life are not getting dividends of democracy. Is it in the economy? Is it in the power sector? Is it in security? Almost every area of human endeavor, the people are not getting what they actually desire. But let me quickly say that even in the United States of America, a place like Texas, of course, they have what they call Texit, a station where they conduct referendum routinely after every 10 years or so. And the issue is, if the people who say they want to go are in the majority, eventually they will exit the United States of America. And what I'm trying to say in essence is, nobody in the United States of America will hound, arrest, intimidate, coerce, or force them to say you will not succeed or you will succeed. So long as it's what they're doing is within the ambit of the law. But unfortunately, when we see something in Nigeria, the government of the day use all brute force, intimidation, arresting, detention, like we saw in the case of Nnamdi Kanu, who so many persons have even described as a political detainee. Of course, that came from Afenifere recently, when they urged the government of Senator Bola Tinubu to release the man and for national reconciliation. But the point is, at this stage we are, the government, or rather democracy, is not yet working for us. It's not working because we are not, as Nigerians, we are not getting the dividends of democracy. And however I look at it, I think there is serious coalition ahead of 2027. We are seeing a situation where almost all the former head of states are already in that league. And if you are looking at former head of states, you should be remembering the lives of IBB, that is Maradona himself, who of course is regarded as Maradona because of his what is believed to be his intelligence in the past. I think the lives of the man that fought the Civil War, talking about Gowon, he should be in that league. We have Obasanjo, of course, in the southwestern part of the country. But the point is, you look as if even if they are drafting other people into it, look as if the Fulanis are the one at the helm of affair of this move to decide who becomes president in 2027. We have seen in the past where the leadership of Arewa Consultative Forum will come out to say that they made a mistake in 2023. A mistake they say they don't hope to repeat in 2027. 2027. Of course, at the point, the leader of Arewa Congress Forum said it, made it very clear that come 2027, that they will only vote for or rather support a northern candidates. Though I'm talking about Osuman, who was then suspended because of that outburst, but he has since been recalled to that office, and an indication that his position has been endorsed by that socio-political organization in the northern part of the country. But recently we saw the statement that came from Erufai, making it very clear. We all know who Erufai is. Erufai played a prominent role in the emergence of Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, both at the level of primary of APC and both the general election. But shortly after the inauguration of Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu as the president, we saw all the gimmick that stopped him from becoming a minister under this current administration. Even if somebody like Daniel Bwala have challenged him, that if would he have said what he said if he were serving in Tinubu's government? Of course, he had come out clearly to say yes. But according to him, there is no internal democracy in APC. Of course, he have accused the party organs of not holding any meeting since inception of this administration. I think the same thing is applicable to PDP, where it is believed that APC, through Nyesom Wike, the current minister of FCT, is the one trying to rock the boat, the one trying to make sure PDP do not have its feet as a major opposition party in the country. But currently, I think Erufai made it very clear that he is interested in getting someone to replace a Tinubu. Of course, we have seen him in the past, met with SDP chairman, met with some other stakeholders from other political parties, and another political gladiator is Rotimi Amechi, who the other day was very clear when he was asking the youths that if they actually want the power back, that it is not served, it is not given on a platter of gold. That no politician will want to relinquish power except you fight for it. And according to him, that even himself, if he were to be the president, that he will not give up the power. So it's going to show that we are not practicing democracy in this part of the world. That is what it clearly means. Because currently, you are hearing from the horse's mouth who knows how politics is played in Nigeria, telling you that politicians will not relinquish power. We are talking about a game that is played by rule. When I mean game that is played by rule, I'm talking about democracy, talking about election that is guided by, that is supposed to be guided by the Constitution or rather the Electoral Acts. So one begins to wonder, where do an individual derive the power to decide who to give an election or how the election should be won and lost? Though we have seen a similar thing in Edo State before, prior to the governorship election in Edo State, where the president will clearly, while addressing some party faithfuls, and he was asking them, do you want Edo back? They said yes. And he said, and the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I will give it to you. I think this has given a sense of what Amechi is saying, that invariably, once you are in Aso Rock, once you are the head of affairs, once you are the head of executive, you can control all the machinery of government to work in your favor, whether legally or illegally. Because ordinarily, if you go into an election, it's supposed to be won on the basis of numerical strengths, on the basis of how you're able to canvass your manifesto, how you're able to convince the people to magnetize votes, on the basis of the popularity of your candidate, on the basis of the strategy you deploy to decide who is your candidate. I think those are supposed to be the determinant factor that will determine who wins an election. But unfortunately in Nigeria, we are seeing a situation where someone will sit somewhere and decide who to give a state to. And someone like Rotimi Amechi will come out clearly to say that, yes, politicians will not relinquish power. Politicians will not give power to you, except you fight for it, except you struggle for it. So it goes to show that if that is the case, is it not better the stakeholder do the needful? And to the man Tinubu himself, I think this is a challenge, because if the Fulanis are bent on ousting you from office, is it not better you do the needful? And the needful is to see whether I bring everybody on board. Let them have a roundtable conversation where all the stakeholders will be on board to chart the way forward to determine whether actually they want to continue living together as one entity under the sovereign state of Nigeria. Because the way it is, there's no way you can deny that Nigerians already polarized along ethnicity, along religion, and different divides. There's no unity of purpose. And the Bible says, can two work together except they agree? Of course, it is not possible. So the way it is, I think there's need for people to come together on a round table conversation to decide whether do the people actually want to continue living together. There's nothing sacrosanct about Nigeria to the extent that by providence, by God, creation, the Yorubas are created a different people, the Hausas are created a different people, the Igbos are created a different people. Though it is not still out of place if people were to come together through unanimous agreements. Because the current ground on constitution we operate is a creation of the military force on Nigerians. It's not people's oriented. That is why even a state in the United States of America, like the Texas, after fighting and getting their independence from Mexico, at a point decided to come under the platform of the United States of America. It was an agreement. It was not something that was imposed or forced on them. So in any case, when you are deciding about sovereignty of people, where a people should belong, I think it should be through their own determination and decision. And good thing, the issue of self-determination is a UN charter that has been ratified in Nigeria. So to that extent, it's already a law in Nigerian legal jurisprudence. The other time we saw the foreign affairs minister from Russia advocating and encouraging countries of the world and even UN to respect the right of self-determination. So, and unfortunately, Nigeria do not respect that right. Because each time you see people coming up to talk about self-determination, the next thing you see is such person is tagged a terrorist, and before you know it, the person is handed, arrested, even in most cases kept in detention. But for me, I think the best thing to do at this point is round table conversation, where I bring everybody on board and let us discuss whether we want to continue living together as one or we want to part our separate ways. Let me say very thank you for your time. This is Settlement there, and I'm Mr. Matt.